Do you remember from high school algebra when you learned how to solve one equation in one unknown? If the equation was simple, like 5x equals 10, you could easily solve it in your head with the answer x equals 2. In words, if you plug x equals 2 into the formula 5x, you force this formula to have value 10. Of course, not all equations in one unknown are that easy to solve. An example is shown here. You might or might not be able to solve this equation for x in your head, or even on a piece of paper. This type of problem, solving one equation in one unknown, arises often enough in spreadsheet models that Excel has a special goal-seek tool for solving it. This tool is found in the What If drop-down list on the data ribbon. You start with a formula that involves the unknown. In Excel, the unknown isn't called x, it is the value in a designated changing cell. The problem is to force the formula to have a specified value by changing the value in the changing cell. Here is an example where goal-seek can be used. In fact, this is the model that leads to the equation for x on the previous sheet. The company wants to find a break-even price. That is, it wants to set the price, shown in red, so that the profit, shown in gray, is forced to 0. The model itself is fairly simple. There is a fixed cost of $10,000, a variable cost of $20, the company can change the unit price to whatever it wants, and there is a demand curve that decreases with slope 5. This means that the more the company charges in its price, the lower the demand will be. The demand is then a function of price found from the demand curve. Finally, the profit is the difference between unit price and unit cost times the demand minus the fixed cost. To use goal-seek, I will select it from the What If analysis dropdown. I get this dialog box. I have to specify the cell that I am driving to some value. I have to type in the desired value, in this case 0, and the changing cell is the unit price. When I click OK, I see that profit has been driven to 0 and the corresponding price is $22.57. In this case, this unit price will result in a demand of about $38.87. The margin on each will be $22.57 minus 20, or $2.57, and this would be just enough to offset the fixed cost. Because some formulas can be very complex nonlinear functions of the changing cell, goal-seek actually uses an iterative algorithm to sneak up on the changing cell value that forces the formula to the desired value, and it quits when it is sufficiently close. Therefore, the value of the formula might not be quite what you want it to be when the algorithm quits. You can make it closer by going to the Formula section of Excel Options and changing the maximum change to a smaller value. That is, more zeros after the decimal. For most problems, especially those in business, this increased accuracy is probably not necessary, but it's worth knowing that the option is available.